Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Zelda 2 randomizer race for the Swiss round number 3. This one featuring Rikuplayer versus Bentglasstube. This is Angry Larry with Nurm. Nurm, how you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing pretty good.
That is, wow, that is spot on. You patrolling the? How's your golf cart?
Well, I had to take it out for a spin the other day, and all the tires are popping down. Just having a really bad time with it.
Yep. I know what you mean, man. I'm gonna tell these well, not stupid idiots. They're kind of nice guys. I'm gonna tell them I'm ready whenever they are. Let me know how the the Nurm to Angry Larry ratio, or the Angry Larry to Walter Fopp ratio is.
I should probably talk normal at some point so you can actually get a general idea of the volume level.
Yeah, that might be nice. I might actually, instead of playing with Discord, maybe I'll just raise the volume on my headset here. Yeah, so I'm ready whenever they are. That's exactly what I typed, by the way. I had to say it out loud first before I was able to do it. But what are we expecting in this race?
So I think Riku and BGT both are probably relatively equivalent in terms of Zelda 2 skill. So it should be a pretty close race. I think, so here's the way my vision on this race is. I think if it's what we would consider a normal fast seed where you get gloves and key early and you're able to find everything early on, I think BGT actually will have an advantage here, because I've seen Riku in fast seeds. He will decide to keep looking for items when he's completely good to go. And but he's been getting better. Riku's been putting in a ton of practice, so we'll see. And I think if it's a more trolley seeds, maybe like glove is in like 4 or 5 or something, then I think Riku might have an advantage.
You can see, yeah, you definitely can see that when Riku practices now. He just explains everything as he's going, and he understands it as far as, I'm looking for this. This is the cave where I'll probably need to pass through. I still haven't explored this area. So he's got a good grasp of the overworld and the mechanics involved in it. And I feel like sometimes BGT, I'm a detriment to his ability to play this game, because when he's trying to race, I'm in his channel just making fun of him, or just making fun of everything, making him laugh and stuff, and, distracting him overall. But, yeah, it should be really fun here.
Yeah, he doesn't have that luxury this time around.
He does have a room named after him, and that gave him some problems last night. But here we go. See if I can get some volume here for you guys. What are we looking at right away? We got a couple of caves and a couple of spike encounters. What are you looking for when you start a race?
I think caves are probably the most important early find. I'm also looking at palaces. If you can do like a palace 1 and a palace 2 in these seeds.
It is pretty humorous that we have the glove right away.
Oh man.
In a tournament of trolliness, I guess you can say. I believe this is the earliest we've ever found the glove by far.
But yeah, early on, definitely want to go into caves, look for items. You never know what you're going to find early, but obviously you need the raft at some point. And I guess that's really your first major hurdle, is finding the raft and finding a way to get through palaces.
Yeah, second item cave here in 2 out of 2. Trophy cave. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to pause BGT for a couple seconds as soon as we see this item. It's a heart container. Going to get them both synced up at 116, and that is now.
All right, so I'm about 4 seconds ahead of you.
What time are you at?
1:31 right now. 3, 4, 5.
Okay, I'm at 5, 6, 7.
All right.
Okay. Got that taken care of. We're in Death Mountain here for BGT. I gotta make sure my left and my rights are the same here.
Yeah, both of them took a quick peek into Death Mountain just to see if the Hammer Cave was there, and it was not. But they did get a glimpse of the boulder tile, so while it wasn't right there at that entrance, they at least know it's seemingly readily accessible.
Yeah, one of the unfortunate things was it in the first area or was it just visible in another area?
It was visible in another area that had a lot of exits.
And that's one of the downsides to the randomizer is you can see the boulder in Death Mountain, but you don't know what cave gets there. Logically, you think the cave closest. Not always the case. Actually, probably never the case. What do we got here? Let's see. We got the town of Raru, so we'll pick up our first spell of the game as well. And that's going to be on Riku's side. Get the health refill first. BGT is going to take care of this red Daira for some XP here. $150 is solid enough for attack level 2 early on.
Yeah, finding a 150 Daira is really pretty good. We've got fire in the town of Rauru, so I didn't see the cost because I got a text at the same time, but it should be interesting to see what that's tied to.
Gotta tell you, last night's race, I didn't know what it was tied to. Magic jar in Heart Container Cave. So 3 out of the 5 overworld caves that contain items on the Western continent have been found. We're still looking for the grass tile as well. 3 towns and all 3 palaces, but we do have the first palace here on BGT's side. It's either 3 or 6. And we have another one here on Riku's side. And it is Palace 4. BGT. So go ahead.
I'll say, so I think with like the dripper flags, you want to see 2 early as possible. If you're me or anybody who likes to grind on drippers and you're not dig shake.
I'm starting to buy into that.
It's
like,
so good, dude.
If you can find drippers early and it's worth, then it's worth. So there's
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's a second entrance to Death Mountain. We found the town of Mido, and we found the front end of Fairy Cave as well.
Riku's in Heart Container Cave here, which I think BGT found to have a magic jar, right?
Yes, and as of right now, it looks like our only means to get to the other side of a continent, if it is segmented, is a Fairy Cave we don't have Fairy for. So there's another section of this area that we have not explored yet, it seems, because there's just no other logical way to go through it.
We haven't seen either side of Saria yet, have we?
I do not believe so. I think we've only seen Mido and Raru.
So I think we're missing a cave here.
Well, whatever it is, BGT is just going to go into Death Mountain. I believe we've seen both sides of Death Mountain choke, unless BGT's in the side that Riku was in early.
No, we definitely seen both sides of Death Mountain.
Yeah. Somebody ducked into the back half. Sorry. Okay, thank you. So we're looking for the river, the note, or Death Mountain contains the medicine for Fairy. As of right now. And look what we found here on BGT's side.
That was really quick.
I'm in the camp of if something is required, it's going to be easily accessible, whether it's like, Raft in 4 and you turn right and it's right there or something like that. So early Hammer Cave would lead me to believe that this item right here is going to be very important to them right now.
I don't know if I buy into that, because I've had some 25-minute Death Mountains to get Raft before.
I mean, I said it, so it's obviously true, but I will, you are 3-0, so I'll take your opinion under advisement.
Well, I mean, you did say it, so.
Damn it, it's my channel.
I have no power here.
We're going to find out what this is soon. Is that the third? No, that was, we're back in Palace 4 there for an up and A.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've seen the third one yet, unless we saw 3 and 6 both, which might be the case, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I believe it was the same one. I believe it was a dark palette, but again, could have been different colors. BGT is going to make his way through here, hopefully, and see what this item is. There's one down, and here's the second jerk, and look at that. I was right again, magic jar.
Yep, and it looks like Riku found a bridge to go north here, so maybe no block at all.
BGT's walking out, and that's probably because he's got 1390 of 1319 of 1390. It's odd, because one red diary was 150, so it's going to take a little bit of time here to save this XP.
It does seem a little odd. And yeah, looking like Riku finding a road to the north here. He does see raft tile. And let's see what else he finds up here.
I used to be annoyed when I found bridge encounters, but honestly, they're just not that bad.
I hate bridge encounters. Probably like my least favorite thing in the game.
Because of all the floating stuff that's really hard to avoid sometimes, depending on what it is, or...
Fish and bubbles, man. Drive me nuts.
I think I was always just confusing the bridge encounters with that one road encounter, the bubble skip in 100% all keys by the grass tile. There's a right end of Saria. BGT is in the other entrance to Death Mountain. He does not.
He just walked out of the cave. He hasn't actually up and ate or anything yet. I think he's just going for that experience.
Oh, he walked out of the cave. Now he's walking out of the other cave. Okay.
Okay, now I have no idea what he's doing.
I think he's trying to find his way out, and there it is. All right, we got a Saria spell coming up. One life left. You don't want to... and there it is. Kind of figured something was up.
So with Fairy and Saria, not only does that open up downstab for Riku, but he can also start ducking into palaces, though 3 and 4 early, maybe not the best choices, but whatever that last palace is up where Riku's at, it could be 1 or 2, and that might be a good early play.
Yeah, I'll never shy away from Palace 1. I mean, maybe if I haven't explored all the item caves and there's still options to be in the immediate area. 1 is nice for a few levels early. Or to get like an attack 3, attack 4 if you're already done with the Western Continent. And 2 I'll almost always dip into as well. There's only 1 room that's truly going to block you, unless you encounter that room that's useful to have Jumper Fairy in as well in the wrong direction. But Drippers, like you mentioned before, and the possibility of another item. Not going to turn that down. Alright, BGT is on his way to completing what Riku's already done. He's going to start with the fire spell in Raru. We have the candle in the grass tile.
Sounds good to me.
Nice 500-point P-bag early on the Western Continent. Doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, if you're going to find it, you want to find it early, so no harm, no foul there. And wow, both sides of Parappa Pass right next to each other there.
Still look for Medicine Cave and P-bag Cave. We'll see if this is one of them. It is the front end of Jump Cave.
I bet something's over there to the east in that swamp.
Yeah, that would be fitting for the randomizer if it was.
And Riku actually electing to not check the swamp, but to go south through this little water area here. And we'll see if there's anything over here.
He could have seen what was here from the other end that he started on as well, so maybe he did see something and he's going to walk towards it now.
It's true.
But it's just a nice stretch of desert.
At least it's not swamp.
No, and it's good for at least 70 XP every single time you walk through it, if you take the encounter. But look at that. Little patch of swamp, little southern cave, and it turns out to be P-bag Cave. Still on a little bit of a search for the raft here. Not anymore.
I was holding the wrong button for push to talk, and now I feel like an idiot.
What button were you holding?
I have an extra keybind button that I use in the bottom left corner, but I was holding control instead. Oh well, we did find the raft though. We were kind of running out of spots for it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the ability to get ferry was there, so that meant the raft had the possibility of being in a palace, for sure. Because it always assumes you either have ferry or the magic key before it blocks you from an item in a palace. And the raft being required to leave the Western Continent can only be in the Western Continent of Death Mountain.
So here's the question: does Riku remember where Mito is? Because I sure don't. I know we've seen it.
No, we've seen it. It was early on. It was right where BGT is now. I think it's the one on the screen there.
So in that case, Riku is probably looking for the final cave, Medicine Cave here.
Or in the third palace, which is right there as well. And I'm not sure I've seen Rudo.
I think that town in the forest that he keeps walking past is Rudo, but he just knows that it's Rudo because he's seen everything else.
Okay, and you were initially right. And this confirms it. 3 and 6.
I'm from the future.
You are.
And it does look like that final cave might be across that bridge there. But you can walk around it. Good bridge.
BGT was going to go through Magic Jar Cave again, then realized he's already done it. So he needs to get north. He needs to find this bridge. He needs to get to the other side here. And I think he's looking for a way to get on the other side without actually just walking to do it. And this has happened to me before as well. You're trying to think too logically, like trying to complete a puzzle that's not there.
And so many of the seeds have had segregated overworlds that, you know, it's become so common. It's like, oh, I gotta take a cave to get, you know, over here. Where to have it actually be open like this is kind of a rarity.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 0 caves required, just had to walk over a bridge. BGT does find 4 again. Where was that bridge in retrospect to where BGT is now?
He is relatively close to it. You just need to go a little bit more east.
Well, Raikou has pillaged everything in the Western Continent, the continental Western Continent, with the heart container being the last item in Medicine Cave.
Yep, the only thing Riku hasn't done is get the item off Death Mountain, which it looks like he might be turning around to do here.
There we go. BGT finds a way to get across. Now, I've done it many times before, like passing the raft spot without the raft and never just, like, giving it the time of day or mention. He's going to get downstabbed first.
That's what it is.
But that's not the town. So you got to hope when the players do find the raft spot before having the raft that they kind of take a mental note and remember where it is. And I guess you got to do the same for Mito as well, if you don't have Jumper Fairy.
Yeah, I have a really hard time remembering where Mito is.
It's one of the few things I wrote down last night in my race. The location of Mito relative to start.
I always have a piece of paper in front of me, and then I forget to do it.
Yeah, I try to write like really small too, so I can't read it when it looks like it when I need to reference it again. Oh, here it is.
Well, going east with downstab is definitely a huge benefit. No fun getting past those Lizalfos otherwise.
No, in MOAs, you know, you just jump and hold that down stab when jumping down. Seems to help somewhat.
BGT struggling in this desert encounter here, and he's only got 1 life left.
BGT BGT picked up the raft in the P-Bag Cave.
And there's the game over for BGT. That's going to be a little bit unfortunate because now he has to walk all the way back over to that bridge and cross that bridge encounter again.
Yeah, he tries to pause buffer there to avoid the encounter, but was holding up, but his sprite was already moving the tile to the right. Oh, but both going back to the northern area. Riku is going to the raft tile to go explore the eastern continent, and BGT is going to try to collect everything he didn't collect already. And he takes another death. Oh, look at that.
Holy crap. What a great start there.
You wake up to a cave, and I believe this is Nubaru Cave, if I'm not mistaken.
And bam, Moa to the face.
I'm sorry, this is one of the Valley of Death. One of the Valley of Death and pass-throughs. So we'll get the single stage, the single screen.
BGT has found the goo.
That might make things a little bit easier, but no, it definitely will, because it was on the other side. It is 3 screens to walk through though, and you can basically have a chance to make it to the bridge with 0 encounters anyway.
So we do have New Castudo. The old lady wants 6 jars. Riku only has 5.
He always wants one more than you have. So remember, Riku, and I'm just saying, BGT found the early Hammer Cave, which had the magic jar. And you know my theory, if something is right there for the taking, it's going to be very important later.
It's a very valid point.
I don't know what it could be, but...
And we do have Spell in New Castudo, so Riku's going to get a chance at that tower. I think it was castable, but he kind of unpaused a little too fast.
And BGT is going to pick up Fairy here at the 20-minute mark. Definitely still better than not having it at all.
And Riku does confirm that Fire is actually tied to Spell, so that was the most useless spell pickup we could have had.
But in doing so, it gets the 6th magic jar, and he'll be able to see what this other item is, so he'll be able to complete New Castudo in one go with a few fetch quests, basically.
Yeah, I'm really not too shabby. When you go to New Castudo, it's going to be kind of a pain to walk all the way back and have to deal with it, so getting it all clear is nice. BGT going to come up on Grass Tile and Medicine Cave here. Speaking of medicine.
Yeah, there you go. So 6 magic jars leads to medicine.
Riku comes across Palace 5 here. He's going to go ahead and duck right out of there. And another palace in the swamp to the north. So, nice little cluster of palaces here.
See the front end of Castudo Cave there, in case we have to take a pass through. We have not seen the back end of that one. good old palace number 1.
Yep, it's a good start. No problem clearing it out. Got fairy, got plenty of keys. Should be a very easy first gem here for Riku.
He's going to have the option to go down or go left for the item. And I got to tell you what, with the way the Eastern Continent overworld started, I'm very much interested in finding the boots. But then again, I'm very hesitant to stop looking for items unless I have all the spells now. Even if it means, taking longer in palaces to arrive at garbage items.
I think if he were to do like a Palace 5 and then like say he found Guma really early, I would not tuck back in for the item at the point that he's at right now.
Right, that's probably the wise decision, but we did find the item room here. One's not really relatively that large.
Yeah.
Could have gotten a key. It's got a key in one room, but could have gotten a key if this was a dead end, so it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And look what we have.
Those are some good finds early on. With how close he is to the entrance, it'll be interesting to see if he actually decides to turn around and cash both of those in, because then he'll know if he still needs to keep looking for Kid or not once he gets to Naburu and Old Kasuto.
Yeah, he assures himself of having 7 of 8 spells, and basically, I guess if he's still looking for items, he might want the boots or heart container. You know him better than I do. I don't know where his comfortable level is with heart containers.
I'm not sure. I do know he does kind of tunnel in on like trying to find items, so he might not even need much of anything. But you're still the boots on the table. It's still a key, so there's still a lot left to find that would be beneficial. So I think you still got to dig items a little bit, at least the easier ones.
BGT has completed all the items in the west, including one in Death Mountain. He doesn't have the hammer to get the other in Death Mountain, so he's probably going to find. Actually, he's not even going to Mito. Unless he did already and I missed it. No, he's going to up A.
No.
Okay.
I think he realized, hey, I should go to Mito. Listen to you, Larry.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take the pass-through there and go right back on the other side. The raft tile is very close to that bridge encounter, and I think Mito is as well, so he might as well just walk it.
I thought Mito was to the south. I might be wrong.
I think eastern south area, I believe. I didn't think the first starting area was too deep, but maybe it was. I thought it was like a full screen and a half, maybe. Actually, he's looking for it. I think it's a little bit south of that cave right there.
I see. You have a better grasp of the overworld than I do, that's for sure.
I'm making stuff up and hoping I'm right, actually.
I see.
Yeah. We found Sarah Jessica Parker here.
So that's going to be right up there with Rebo McIntyre.
It was the original, though, and looks like Sarah Jessica Parker, where the other one doesn't.
Riku's going to turn around and grind. He's got 180 to go.
Those guys are probably 20 apiece, 50 apiece, okay.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Totally worth it.
I thought they didn't randomize, actually, those guys. I thought they were 20 every single time, but I guess I'm wrong.
Tyro Jessica Parker.
All right, BGT grabs down stab and then up A's. He's probably going to take Saria through, and it's definitely going to be a longer path here, because he was right by that bridge. Where he just went straight north and straight right to the raft spot.
It is a longer path, but it does give him time to think about what he wants to do, because you don't have to worry about jumping across and dodging fish and all that nonsense.
Well, he could have also just used fairy like he did there.
True.
On top of the screen.
Gem 1 down for Riku and attack 5.
Yeah, we'll see what else we get here. There's another palace right there, and we have a P-Bag Cave, so...
Yeah, that was Palace 5.
That was 5? Okay. Thank you. Picking up a pea bag in Pea Bag Cave. It's a little on the nose. Oh, BGT makes it. Oh, look at that. Double pea bagged. Oh, double 50-point pea bagged. He just got dig shook. That's not fun.
I will be right back real quick here.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Valley of Death is right there. We have to find the other way to get around, though. To get inside. We got a town right there. BGT's trying to figure out how to get to it. He's going to go left. No, he's going to fake it. Go back right. He's going to try left again. It is randomizer. The controller pad inputs probably also randomize. And since I'm not playing, I don't know if left actually is left, but could be possibly randomized to something different. And we have new casino, and since BGT got the magic jar inside of Death Mountain, this lady is going to let him right in. Riku's going back into 1 to up an A, get his lives back, and explore a little bit more. Bangs into that cave, Kasuto Cave. We've seen this before. And Nurm said that was Palace 5. There's a River Devil. And that's one of 2 caves there. You can't really tell unless he goes through it. Picks up a pea bag on the desert tile. Still looking for that desert tile item. And we found the back end of... It's the one where enemies are further away. That's the back end of Noburo Cave, I believe.
Alright, I'm back. What I missed?
BGT's jumping around swinging a sword.
I see.
To the beat of the music, though. He does that rhythm stabbing crap. But he did get the magic. He did get the. He picked up the medicine because he had the 6 magic jars, and he's getting his 7th magic jar now. And also the spell, which he already had. Grey Palace on the Valley of Death.
Fortunately, it doesn't seem too costly to find there. Nice and short.
No, and it also narrows it down. It means 2 is in Maze Island. If that was 2 now for him, he would have been dig shake deep right now in Palace 2.
Look at that there River Devil.
This is the cave that brings you back to the start. So what Riku wants to do right now is he wants to just jump into one of these caves. This one, probably this one. Unless this is Noburo Cave. Then we've already seen where that ends. And then he's going to have to take Kasuto Cave through. The one that BGT just came out of. And it's not. This is the one with... This is Valley of Death 1. So we have not seen the back end of this side. As BGT finds Palace 1 and will attempt to do it. Riku takes Valley of Death Cave 1 and wakes up to Darunia. Is your concern right now finding Maze Island and Palace 2?
Well, it's right there. Maze Island has, it's got 2 items on it. You don't have the boots, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to go there.
But I should say, with Maze Island and Palace 2 right there, what are we really looking for now?
It's a good question. There's not really a whole lot stopping him. He's got Fairy. He just really needs to find towns. I would imagine that would probably be priority number 1. Yeah,
it's still a chance Boots could be blocking a town for sure. And still a chance the kid is out there that will lead to Reflector Thunder. BGT, ever the showman. Riku might be thinking about taking life 4 here eventually. He's getting bodied.
Well, he's getting bodied by some of the hardest hitting enemies in the game.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Over two containers of damage. Looks like.
We do have an item on the way here. That'll help out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. The Vuvuzela could still play a role. That is correct. There is one cave we have not gone through Kasuto Cave yet, so there's a chance that leads to the north.
Looking like Riku is headed for the palace here so he can get his lives back and continue to explore Maze Island. I would also not be surprised if he ducked right in.
I might just duck in and do it right at this point.
Magic Key might be out here, though. You never know.
No, you never know. You never know when that magic key is going to be, and it save you 20 minutes if you found it when you're on the same screen with it. I wouldn't know. That's hypothetical. Did you check that little landing strip there? I looked away.
He did the little question mark looking thing.
Okay.
But I don't think when he came in, I don't know if he went that way or not. There was a little 3-tile section. I'm not sure he checked.
BGT is making this Palace 1 seem like Palace 5. And here we go. We found Horsehead.
Or did Horsehead find BGT?
That's good. I like that one. I'm using it.
Riku getting a lot of encounters on the way here, so this is a little bit costly to check. So hopefully something good's over here.
Yeah, I believe this is the only area of Maze Island he has not been to. He might actually have to go through that encounter to get to where he wants to, or it's right there. BGT 4 cycles, the key.
It's got some dodging skills, man.
We have a hammer.
We do have a hammer. I wonder if when Riku's gonna go turn in the trophy and the medicine, I wonder if he ducks in the Death Mountain just to see. I would think probably not, but you never know. No, Riku, check the drippers first. Come on.
I mean, he's only 5'3". He probably could stand to standing at could use standing at a dripper for 10. I don't know what I want to say, because I want to say he could stand to do something, but then I want to say he can stand to stand by the dripper, and it doesn't work. So
he's not even interested.
No. He's going to filibuster his way up that elevator.
He's not looking for items either, which is interesting. Maybe he thinks that one spell the kid is blocking is no big deal, which, you know, is not a bad call by any means.
So BGT takes a unfortunate game over, but maybe a little bit of a blessing in disguise here, because now he can go turn in those spell items and see what he gets.
And a very quick helmet head here for Riku.
Man, really good helmet head fight as well.
Yep, nice low HP roll and right on through. Perfect experience management. He'll be at attack 6.
Let's see what our Mito spell is.
All right, Larry, so I'm going to ask you your favorite question.
Go
Who's
ahead.
in the lead right now?
Riku's definitely in the lead right now. 2 gems to 1. He's explored the Eastern Continent to at least the fullest extent, well, without those towns. But he's seen both caves he can jump into that remain. I did not see what that spell was because
It was jump.
It was jump. Okay. He's 6'3" with 4 gems left to place. Like, I think he's in a good position to just go as fast as he wants to go now. Problem is, he's going to have to find these towns that are unaccounted for, and how does he go about navigating to do that?
Yeah, one of the problems was it seems like this Eastern Overworld here is separated into 4 separate parts. You got the little entry cave, you got the middle, you got to the north, which is blocked by the River Devil, and then the southern area he's in right now. So a lot of options. I still got a lot to explore down here, though, so we'll see what he finds.
Yeah, I think prior to that cave he went through, there are 2 caves we have not seen the other end of, and I think we've seen half of both of them. And they're both in that other area.
Got a water tile down there, no boots, though.
Still missing the second P-Bag cave, I believe, and that's got to be it. No, it doesn't have to be it. It could be the other end of one of those connector caves. And it is. It's the back end of Kasuda Cave. So it's the Nubaru Cave that we're going to have to take over to the north, if it even goes to the north.
That could be flute required. You never know.
BGT finds an assortment of garbage spells for his money right now.
So looking more and more like the kid might actually be required here, as we're down to 3 spots and still no required spells, so we'll see. This knowledge is probably going to benefit him more than it's going to benefit Riku, because he skipped the item in 2.
Well,
Thinking, hey...
Well, this is Kasudo, and we found all 4 ends of all 4 connector caves, so whatever is north above the River Devil is basically nothing.
Have we seen the Buru yet?
This is Nubaru. I just said we're missing Kasudo.
Oh, okay.
No, you are right. This is Nubaru. We are missing Kasudo, so that could be north above the River Devil.
But knowing this game, that path with the River Devil right there ends right before it actually spits out north, and you have to take a cave anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna probably have to find the boots and take the north, go north of the walk around the raft spot to the north. I have 0 trust that road goes anywhere.
I've already seen too many roads work too well.
And guess what? Kid's gonna be required.
Kid is indeed, we know, to be required. That's really surprising. So Old Kasudo and Darunia having Reflecting Thunder, respectively.
And Fire spell for everyone out there.
And the more time Riku spends in the east now without turning those items in, the more time he's going to be hurting himself. Because he's already got in his mind, hey, I've got Reflecting Thunder under my belt. Just have to go turn these in. And we know that not to be the case.
Yeah, if he goes south here and finds a dead end, I fully expect an up A, or when he finds whatever this eventually leads to, because this is the southern western part of the continent, southwestern part. It's going to end eventually, and it ends right there. I would expect an up A right about now. He'll do it.
I don't know. I think he might keep looking for caves here.
Well, the problem is he's got to go north. He's got to take a cave back to the middle area. when it's probably a lot easier to up A and walk to the raft spot and take the initial cave to get there at this point.
Oh, there was one more town left.
No, that town, I think that was Darunia, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think you are correct.
I'm just going to grab upstab. It's funny, both players opted to check. I guess maybe because it was so short and right in their path, they opted both to check Valley of Death before trying to find Maze Island.
Yeah, when it's only 2 tiles long or 3 tiles long or however it is, I don't see why you wouldn't check it.
And when it's a 50-50 shot of being Palace 2 or Valley of Death, maybe you want it to be Palace 2 at that time and just do it. Well, there's our buddy right there, the River Devil, and we need a way around him, and it's going to either contain getting the horn or getting the boots. Maybe. We don't know for certain if the boots are going to go to the other side.
So Rika's going to turn in these 2 spell items. He knows he's going to need Kid for Thunder. Do you think he'll duck in a Death Mountain?
When he doesn't find what he's looking for, yeah. Actually, no. He might see if that's Palace 3 first. Looks like that's where he's going. No, he's probably going to Mito, but he's on the line to walk into 3 or 6.
There's no reason not to do 3 and 6 while he's over here.
No, 3 is very short. Remember, they had the glove since minute number 1, so that's not even a concern of getting blocked there. Downstab was an initial concern. I might have actually done 3 before I went to the east, now that I think about it. Riku wants to stab the old lady a couple times before he tries to talk to her. That's not nice.
And he gets bad news number 1. So of the remaining things we've got here, what's the most trolly possible outcome?
Well, the hammer being required to get the flute or the boots, to get the kid, to get thunder or reflect, probably. Or kid being in 4 for reflect, I guess. Nice, simple.
That's always a fun one.
Yeah, it's a nice, simple path to being annoying. The hammer was in Death Mountain. I'm sorry, at Maze Island. And I did not mark it. I did mark it. Okay.
And Riku is in 3. We weren't sure which one that was until this room right here.
Yeah, do me a favor. When you, that's a good point. When you decide to give, like, the trolley thing from now on, just, dude, I got some bad news for you in your best British accent.
I don't know the reference.
Bad News Barrett. Wade Barrett? Wrestling?
That was a dark time in my life.
Oh, man. All right. I'll forgive you. Gimmick Soldier has the right idea, though. Guy in chat says, boots in 4 to get Kid on the water tile to get reflect. But I don't think that guy's ever played this game, so...
Yeah, I thought I saw him stream it once, but he was getting advice from his chat. They were telling him how to play the game.
He's an Adventure of Lolo guy. I subscribe to him. I mean, I follow him. He plays these puzzle games. It's, you know, a little weird, but...
And here we do have the item room in 3, so... We are going to see what it is. He doesn't immediately turn around, so that's a good thing.
He did this, he picked up the shield spell before he jumped in, right?
No, he jumped into 3 without the shield spell.
Okay. It's one of those things. I had it right, but I just assumed I missed it.
Nice palette glitch on the BGT side there.
Yeah, I'm going to blame CF 207 for that one.
At least he's not playing Dragon Warrior this time.
No, but his grass tile looks a little weird. Not the grass tile, but when he's in the grass encounter, the bottom looks a little weird. So I think he's playing something. Well, no magic key. No magic. Might as well walk and get that key. Do you know how many times you can cast Fairy at Magic 3 with 6 containers?
It was 40-something, so twice.
Okay. A 40-something would be twice, yeah. Oh. It just flashed on BG. Oh, he has Magic 2. Never mind. No, we have not seen the desert tile yet.
So the desert tile might actually be up north past that river devil, and it would. That and Old Casuto are the two things we haven't seen yet.
P-Bag Cave number 2 as well.
And P-Bag Cave number 2
yes.
as well.
So it might all be up there, or different paths. One you have to go with the boots, and the other one you have to go with Fairy. Oh, not Fairy, the horn.
BGT is dead set on going through Saria instead of taking the bridge encounter.
Yeah, he's got like a Subway Club card. He wants that thing punched every time he goes there for a free footlong.
I mean, for free footlongs, I'd go through there too. And Riku once again getting just enough experience. He's going to go up to attack 7 here. He's in really good shape.
BGT is going to make the walk to the raft spot here. But we know, like, nothing is really said and done until somebody finds either the boots or the flute. Right now.
Or the kid. Kid could be on Death Mountain, and that would just be the end of it.
That is factually
Actually, no,
correct.
never mind. That is, we still need to go north for Reflector Thunder. I forgot about that.
And that is also factually correct. So what's the significance with Riku waving every time he takes damage?
I have no idea.
Okay. Is that a Canadian thing, you think, or?
He might be imitating the Queen.
Oh, could be. That's right, it is a Commonwealth. Who is the Queen of Canada? Celine Dion?
Justin Bieber.
Okay, there you go. Oh, BGT is taking all the caves now. So hopefully he's tracked them all. Maybe this is his first time over by Darunia.
I do believe so, because the other cave was the one that was on his screen right there that came down here, so...
Well, he was on this side already, I believe, because he did walk by the southwest area, and he found
right.
Nuboru. So he was on this side, and then he left this side to come back to this side. So, I gotta believe he was in Darunia. He doesn't look like he went through Maze Island yet, though. Let me check that on his tracker. No, that is factually correct. No Maze Island yet for him. He's gonna go there now.
And Riku actually electing to take an early left in Palace 6. Interesting choice. He's found all the drops at this point, I think. But he's gonna jump over. I wonder if he's thinking that 6 is a left item room.
I was going to ask you that. I don't like asking those questions and assuming somebody new doesn't know the answer, or somebody who's not familiar with Randomizer doesn't know the answer.
Well, he knows better. It's just a matter of, it looks like, I don't know if he's like talking to somebody at the same time or what's going on with the waving, but maybe he's just sidetracked.
Yeah, it looks like he's on a Skype call.
It does. It really does.
He already got the key. Now he's going to go back to... It's like 100% all keys. Like he just took a game over. He's got to go back to the area he's died in. Gets 210 experience points, though. So Barbara's going to give him well over the threshold anyway.
He's got to live that long. Is he gonna pick up the hammer here? And look at that, right to the item room. So what do you think? Flute and 6?
Well, I mean, we have two junk dollar store items still on the table, so I'd fully expect this to be a pea bag or a 1-up red jar. Nope. I just don't know why I doubt you.
I'm from the future.
You're like the greatest man who ever lived.
I can't wait for that road to be just right into a mountain.
You gotta feel like with the way this game treats people sometimes, whatever one you got first was going to be the wrong one. Well, now we gotta get to Barba.
And really, we haven't really seen a whole lot of rights. Been a lot of drop rooms that just kind of dead end or go to other drop rooms, and so still a lot of Palace 6 left here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it'd be funny if the initial right from start was Barba.
It's a possibility.
Now you can go down here into the looping room, into the down key. Well, look at that looping room, into the vertical shoot room. Nope. I got greedy. I tried to add one more room there, and it just wasn't there.
Riku needs to be careful. He's on his last life here, and he's out of magic, and he's down to 1 life bar. So even if he does find Barba, it's going to be a tough one.
And we haven't seen the BGT room either. And this is never fun. Fire, Doom Knockers, Moa. I really want him to go right at start.
I mean, this might be the first time in the history of palaces I've ever seen somebody go left.
Did he walk here and not have magic maybe to go through that door?
I don't see how he wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's a drop anyway.
Well, this is the downside with no magic key is you're using that fairy as much as you can, and sometimes you just don't have the means to refill it anymore. But a little Rebo pass through here. It's gonna take a death, or no? I think it's just with attack 7. He thinks he's just gonna fight it.
There's the hammer for BGT. I lied earlier.
Yeah, that was the heart container before, but we marked it anyway. He was gonna get it eventually. Nope, he's going to do 2. We did not see the item in 2, remember?
That is correct. And it seems like this logic is a fan of putting Barba right after this mini-boss, so we'll see how this plays out this time.
Yeah, still BGT room out there, I believe. as well. And the high drop? No, BGT room. You said he saw all drops before.
We have not seen the initial high drop.
That might loop right into, well... Yeah, that might go to the room 2 to the left of this, or 3 to the left of this.
My hero, BGT.
There's the high drop. The BGT room was the room that he was just in, and just like I called, it drops right into that room. Right into this room.
And this is what Riku saw when he went left initially, so we've looped all the way around.
Yeah, did we see the room where he needs fairy?
Yes.
Okay. What were the drippers?
Those hammer throwing dudes that I don't know the name of.
Oh, the gummies?
Sure.
He didn't drop here. Remember, he jumped over.
No, he came back and dropped because it was a dead end.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Remember, he fought the red iron.
That's right, the
knuckles.
key room.
We were like, what the heck is he doing?
Yeah, and there's the fairy room. He lands on top of it.
Dig shook. On BGT's side.
Okay. Do I even dare ask what it was?
Dig Shake's illegitimate child.
No. Buzz Thunder? Okay. I'll mark it.
It was a Buzz Thunder, yeah.
I'm getting a little flashbacks here from my second round race where Palace 6 was a nightmare. Where do you go? Which room do you go in? And I believe the answer is the same. I think you have to go left in that looping room, the one with the key on the right-hand side of the elevator, to then arrive at an elevator that goes up to then go right.
He can go left in this room he's just going down in, or he can go left at the looping elevator. I think there's 2 options available.
And this is the way he went before. He used the key on a key door he ferried through, but then he game overed in here, right? So we never really saw where this went.
That is correct.
Yeah, so...
Life is expensive. 77 at Magic 3. He game overed in this room right here.
Yeah. With 2
There's still a lot of options on the table, yeah.
2 lefts, a down here, and a right. I guess you're going to take the right. I like that. Doesn't even waste time, but he doesn't even look at the screen when he's pushing to the right, and he walks right into the MOA. You guys couldn't see that, but from our vantage point, he looked down to look at notes or something, or Skype, and walked right into the MOA.
Helmet head down for BGT. He's going to take attack 6. He'll be at 6-3-4 with 2 palaces down. Pretty good on experience on both sides, really. And Riku's kind of getting his butt kicked here.
And game overs in that room yet again. Wamboozled. He's going to make his way back. Now, the first time around, before he went directly back to that, he did try to find a different area. Would you possibly go left in either of those 2 areas to avoid that room and hope maybe you wake up to an elevator that leads you to a right path?
I think when I see that room, knowing that there's an elevator in there and a right that I haven't seen, that's definitely where you gotta go. There's too many options out of that room.
I mean, you can understand him keeping his levels at Magic 3, Life 3, but he is now at Attack 7. So, if he does place this gem, when he does place this gem, I wonder if he's going to just dump it all into Life.
I don't think so. I think he'll do Attack 8 because he has 3 gems left.
He still has 5 left to go, so maybe he wants Attack 8 for Guma.
He's got 4 and 5.
There's no possible way we missed BGT getting the kid, right? He's here for just upstab only?
Yes.
Okay.
The only impossible way it could have happened is if it was the item in 2, and the item in 2 was a little digger, so... Riku looking a little bit lost.
Yeah, when he landed on that ceiling, I think he was like, maybe I never checked right here, but it was the item room. I'm sorry, I did mark that on the wrong side. Thank you. He was not the one that got it. Riku was the one that got it. Now BGT is going to take the pass-through. So I really think that BGT is thinking he needs to find the pass-through cave. And this could be a little bit detrimental. Because he made his fancy new version of his tracker and it only includes Western Continent pass-through caves. And I wonder exactly how he's tracking the Eastern ones.
He's got the Eastern ones there. They're just south of the Eastern items.
Oh, I see that now. Look at that. So he's got one left there, and it looks like it's the steps with the flying enemies that's going to be, Kasuto Cave. Yeah, I guess I can tell from the darkened image from the first half. So he's looking for Kasuto Cave to pass through, but we know the sooner he gets there, the sooner he's going to have to start doing something else. Because we know it goes nowhere. And Riku's getting back to the, I guess, you know, we're not going to be in the business of naming rooms for everybody, but at this point in time, this is the Riku player room.
And he actually did make it through that room and go down, so yeah. This is all new here.
Okay, it is new? All right. I was watching BGT. It's tracker. Oh, we looped around to the left.
There's two of those rooms, though, aren't there?
No, there's only one of those rooms.
Oh, I thought there were two.
No, sometimes it makes you think there's two of them. Because that's
there could be 500 for all I know.
That seems to be the focal point of where all loops start and end in Palace 6.
So I think the only way left is right at this room he's been struggling in. Meanwhile, we've got BGT jumping into Palace 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he still does have that right in the room above that loop room.
Oh, sorry, he also has the two lefts.
The left, I'm sorry. You said it wrong, and then I said it wrong right after. We're pretty good. No, it doesn't have the two lefts, because that ruined one of them. But he has the left above that room still.
That is correct.
Yeah. And then this right, see? You know? We just have to talk things out, and look what happens. Riku finds Barba.
I'm not sure if he's down, if he has one life left after this, or if he's down to his last life again. So it'll be interesting to see how he fights it here.
Well, we're
going to find out.
Yeah, that was his last life.
So game over number 3 for Riku in Palace 6 here. Definitely a rough turn of event.
Well, he can get to that. He can get to that room quicker.
This room for BGT over here.
Yeah, I think he was trying to spell something when blocks, and it went wrong. They decided, let's leave. I think he was going to make a Walter Fopp face, if I know BGT.
Now, Walter Fopp's got a face that can't be represented in blocks, you see.
It's amazing how well you do that.
Well, you know, when you live in Texas and everybody's talking like this, so it just comes with the territory. Like Boomhauer and King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Got the whole thing going, man.
You helped Speepin, dude.
BGT don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care about anything. So do you go left now in that looping room with the key, or do you go through the one with the elevator? Because you can skip the first half of that room by just going left.
I would say so. And the first half has been what's been giving him the most trouble. So definitely a different path there would probably be ideal.
See, does that Moa is doing 31 points of damage. And swords are doing about 26 points of damage. I believe that's mathematically correct.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So we don't know where left here goes.
It's got to be some sort of dead end.
Yeah.
We know that much.
But we know left here skips the first half of the other room that he's had trouble in. But he'll have to do another one of these rooms, I think, on the back end of that. See, this room would be fine if that guy didn't jump up, throw maces, and there wasn't fire raining down above you. Like, then it's a relatively easy room. Like, he has no... Yeah, he fell down. He has no escape from that mace right there. But meanwhile, BGT is steamrolling through 5, and I say steamrolling, meaning he's finding a lot of rooms.
He is on his last life.
Yeah, not necessarily finding anything, as far as I know.
Game over number 4 for Riku.
And BGT is gonna probably up A here. 0 lives, finds the key on the porch under the welcome mat. No, he doesn't.
What did he bounce off of?
He finds stuff to bounce off of. There it is. There's his up A, and let's go a different way now.
Well, I think with 4 deaths, I guess 1 death was to Barba, but so many deaths in that room, that might be the Rikuplayer room.
It's a lesson learned. If you want a room named after you, the best way to do it is to die in it a lot. It is coming up. We'll point it out again. Yeah, so definitely in my mind, knowing I can skip that room when I found that loop, at least the first half of it, I'm skipping it. You could always ferry through it.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder, like we noticed him on cam being distracted, like as he started this palace, and he stopped smiling, he stopped waving at this point. So I wonder if he's actually got his full concentration on the game now.
Yeah, just before this palace, you saw him. We did mention he was waving, doing something, laughing a lot. So he was talking to somebody, and it pretty much ended when he looked down. Maybe he was ending the call, and if it was Skype or whatever, and wasn't looking at the TV and walked right into the MOA, which was what, 1 room. He was like inches from Barba at that point, and that was his first game over.
And that was a good 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. And meanwhile, BGT has explored most of 5 already, placed the gem in 2, and found 2's item. And 2's item's not good, but it's like, something uncovered.
Yep, it's knowledge, for sure.
Riku's gonna clear the runway here and try to take off. There he goes. No MOA. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, that was the what we're referring to as the Riku room, the room before this. I said I was going to mention it, and I didn't mention it. That's my bad.
Shame on you.
Yeah, no, it happens. I have Post-it notes. They don't stick too well onto this desk. Found a Post-it note the other day. It said Link 7s. I didn't know what it meant.
Was it the thing Big Shake dropped out of his hat?
Oh, it might have been. So Raiku's having a pretty decent jumpless Barba fight here until I say something and he takes a death. This is his last life now. See if he does the Eco Key. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he just took one hit from Barba and it's already down half his health. So one more accidental hit. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and cast a 1,000,000-point life here.
Thought he was gonna take that up stab right into the lava there. He caught me off guard. And there we go. Palace 6 is down. And even though it took a while, it is done, and BGT still has to do it. So it's a notch in the belt. Although, whenever you die and take a game over, you never feel like you're going to be ahead.
All right, so what do we got here? We've got BGT knows the item in 2 and the Death Mountain item. Riku knows the items in 3 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are the only two advantages they have over each other in terms of knowledge.
Yes, and Riku, one of those items being the flute. So he's probably just going to go right there now because he's done all the palaces on the Western continent.
Yeah, I think he's looking for Rudo right now. He never did turn in the trophy. He did the palaces before turning in the trophy, so I'm sure that's what he's looking for here.
Yeah, now BGT went right for Rudo. Like, didn't make a mistake, walked right towards it. And early on in the Western continent, I was following Riku around more than BGT because BGT was in that first area for longer. And I don't remember seeing Rudo. I don't remember him ducking into Rudo.
It's north of where he is right now.
Has he been there?
He hasn't been there, but he's seen it.
Okay.
It's in that forest. Riku, no. Magic Key in 5 for BGT. That's going to help him tremendously.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help him in 6 because we've seen Riku burn through magic there.
But we still don't know where that kid's at.
Oh, is that true with chat saying that? Yeah, I guess it is. Riku took life 4 instead of declining it and then going for the huge level up at the gem.
He sure did. Seems like he might be a little bit shaken. Might not be thinking straight. You know, he came over in the same room 4 times or 3 times. Actually, it was 4, I think. And it does a lot to your confidence and a lot to your mentality. And here's Guma for BGT. So, item room and Guma right next to each other here.
And he's got all his lives left. He's got shield cast. He can cast life once. I mean, he's not going to cast it at all, I guess. He has it queued up. I don't know what he's waiting for.
He's fighting him like a man.
Yeah, well.
A dead man.
Fighting him like a man made him die. So he should have just cast life there. It was 77. He had over 5 bars there.
So Riku turns in the trophy, figures out the bad news. Hey, that kid is required. He's probably thinking back to Palace 2 where he skipped the item. He's like, oh no. Kid might have been there.
Yeah, it was the Buzz Thunder versus Tristal match where, no, Buzz Thunder versus Kulain, where Buzz skipped the item in 1 and 2 in efforts to just play as fast as possible. And one of the magic jars were in one of the palaces, and that led to the glove in Kasudo.
And we're finally in the north here. Desert Tile and the kid is there. So, Flute and 6 paying dividends immediately.
Yeah, just when I was about to say something about Palace 5 being done, Riku doesn't even need to look for the item.
And Kasuto has Reflect as well, so when he passes by 4, he can just do it, instead of having to turn in the kid first. So that's kind of a plus as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he does make his way back.
Yeah, there's really nothing left for him up here.
Well, it's like there's a P-Bag cave, and I was just gonna compare that to your earlier statement of he just likes to find items. And see if he did go for that last item that was available to him.
I mean, it could be the boots, which would be a lot of mobility help, but I guess at this point you don't really need it. So he's going for it like he should be.
So Darunia was right through the first cave here. Right on the other side. We can walk right into it. Is Palace 4 on this side, though? I believe it's on the other side of the... Where you first... Like, the first cave you're forced to take. Where you come out there, I think it was right there a little bit to the west.
Yeah, there were 2 palaces there. I don't specifically remember. One of them was 5. I guess the other one was 4.
Yeah, Riku just got Reflect. I need a couple seconds before...
And BGT actually elects to up an A here. Maybe he's going to go into 3 and 6.
Yeah, at this point, you're a little bit confused, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's all he's got left, really, to do. He's got Desert Tile, which he can't find, Old Kasuto, which he can't find. He knows there's some kind of northern area he can't access. The only hint he's had is that he needs the flute, so...
I mean,
why not clear palaces?
He has the hammer option for Death Mountain as well.
So BGT will jump into Palace 3 here.
Yeah, Riku's going to try to get through 5. Yeah, 4 is on the west, right? So Riku's not done with the west. What was the other one he did? He did 2. Maze Island. No, Bentglasstube is in Dungeon 3. Palace 3. Riku is in 5. 5 has the magic key, though.
It does, but I don't anticipate that he'll actually be looking for it.
I don't either. But interesting.
How close it is? Yeah, how close it is to Guma? He might just happen across it too.
Yeah, interesting. I was going to say if he walked right into the room and then decided to walk out. 4 has quite a bit of key doors, and I've never really counted them. And since he's keeping Magic 3, he might get into a little bit of trouble with Fairy and needing to take at least 1 at Karak, an intentional death. Or we'll just find Guma.
I'll tell you what, he made short work of that palace compared to BGT.
Yeah, I think BGT's initial problem with the palace was he was item hunting. And he just kept taking lefts, where Riku was taking every available right to him when it was available. And BGT did get back there with 2 lives after he up-A'd, so I did feel like it was relatively close. With simultaneous boss fights here. Bring it, we'll go to the duel box as this happens. Both players in the red zone.
Riku having a bit of trouble here. does not have any lives left.
Yeah, I was about to say BGT didn't find the item here. Was he going to place the gem and go back? But it looks like he's going to maybe get XP, then place the gem, or go look for the item, then walk back for the gem. Either way, it's not going to work out too well for him, knowing what we know.
Got Riku done with Palace 5. Only one left is Palace 4, which we do know is in the west by start. So he'll be taking an up and A here. Maybe.
No, he's got to get this counted down. He's also got to go pick up Thunder.
Ah, yes.
He's going to take at least one magic level. I believe Yuno said this, and it's a very good point, is when you're taking these extra magic levels at the end over life, or making the decision to take one over the other, you can't see what your spells get reduced to. So you're just blindly taking like just random magic levels. Riku takes 3 of them and opts to take 1 life level.
Looks like Riku doesn't remember where 4 was.
He's looking for Jurunia. Right?
I would imagine so, but
Yeah.
he also... Well, nope, there's the up and A.
Well, yeah, I guess he can pick it up on his way to Great Palace. Because it's right in front of the cave you're forced to take through.
But if I recall...
Actually, it's not.
The Great Palace is above that little water block, so he's
Yeah.
going to have to go into the cave, go back, and then get to Great Palace.
Yeah, Great Palace is through the first cave. Then you had to take a second cave to get right in front of Jurunia, so you're right. Yeah, I dropped 0.04% frames this session so far.
You better pick him up.
I know. I gotta do better.
So that's Palace 4 right there, but he's walking around it.
Is it? Or is that 3 or 6?
I'm fairly certain that was it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the... Well, he just went one complete loop to walk right back into North Castle. No, I think you're right.
BGT going the long way through 3, trying to get back to place the gem. Definitely taking him a lot of time. He did find the item, though.
Just a question in case you noticed it or somebody else in chat noticed it. Was at Magic 3, was Reflect castable with 6 jars?
I don't think we got the chance to see. There's the gem for BGT. So he's down to just 4 and 6 now, where we know Riku only has Palace 4 here left to go.
Six was also a real pain in the dig shake. And I don't think Riku is going to walk into face that problem in 4. And if he does, BGT also has to face that problem. Like you said, needs it as well. It's going to be hard to make up time here. Especially when this happens.
Yep, and don't forget that BGT does have to pull the item out of 6 to get what he wants. So if he happens to find Barba first, and he's like, oh no, I'll just go somewhere else for items. That could be pretty detrimental.
I'll reflect this 20 at Magic 6.
Attack 8 for BGT.
I believe one of the newer features in 4.0 that Dig Shake's working on is the option to either take, life. You have the experience for life, magic, or attack, but a 4th option for an item. So you can spend your experience points on an item. So if you don't want to go look for the trophy, You know, you can just buy it with in-game currency. There's going to be eShop at dickshake.org.
Grinding drippers has never been so exciting.
Dickshake dollars. Yeah, you can grind for like 3 hours. You can probably sell that experience on the secondary market for people too lazy to do it. It's going to be really good. It's going to really improve the life of the game.
And if I donate real money, do I get items?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Well, every item is going to cost a set amount of points, like 2,500 points. So for every $20, I think you get 4,000 points. So it's smart because you always have to buy like a second one to get a second item, even though you're getting like a surplus.
I see.
It's amazing.
The old swamp bucks.
Yeah.
So Riku's got every gem placed. We gotta turn the kid into Darunia to get Thunder, and then we're on to Great Palace. Tell you what, Attack 8 makes Rebo super easy. It's going to be hard for BGT to really catch up here. He's 2 gems behind and a required item behind. And Riku's well on his way.
How bad does Great Palace have to be for Riku, for BGT to actually get into Great Palace?
I think he'd have to get like a Skype call, pause the game, spend 5 minutes on the call, do a couple of loops, have his controller break.
That's happened before. I watched a Riku race or a practice session where his controller did break.
Oh, well, there you go.
That did happen. His button was stuck and he couldn't do anything but jump. Well, BGT dropped there. And it did not look like he made a right to get to the item room. Did I miss that, or did he pick it up?
I did not see him fight the mini-boss or pick up the item, so he definitely went past it.
No, he fought the mini-boss, right? Because didn't he do it at Attack 8?
He fought the pass-through boss.
Oh, that was the pass-through boss? I thought the pass-through boss was way later. Okay.
I think he just did it in a different order than Riku did, but here's the item room right here.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize it was on the drop from Canadian Hole. I thought it was on the first drop path. But you're right. He did it out of order. This was the second of 3 drop paths that Riku found.
So BGT will pick up the flute. He'll be able to get past the River Devil and to Old Kasuto and the Desert Tile. But first we gotta find Marva.
It wasn't terribly long. Fall until you reach the ceiling, go left. Maybe 2 lefts, then down twice. Yeah, we gotta go through this room and then go through another room. But we have no magic. Great Palace time.
Yep, 1:31:20, the entry time.
Gonna start it off with a good old waffle room. They're a pleasure with no mixed small and large enemies, although he did find what I would consider to be the worst one, where it has the large enemy in the middle. Makes a nice path for that fire to get him. Oh, don't go back. I'm like, he just made the clean jump, and then he did what I would normally do, just turn right back around and try to beat the guy up.
Gotta get all the experience you can, man. And there's Thunderbird.
Early Thunderbird. Now his reflect costs 20, so he can get really defensive here. There's shield. He did not cast. Well, he might be going for it now. There it is.
Probably thought he didn't have enough, but then just saw, hey, I just might have enough. Looks like he's got 1 point left over.
Yeah, it did a little math. BGT up A's or game overs, I didn't see. I'll be careful. Last couple hits for Thunderbird. Last hit for Riku. Riku wins that. Do you up A here?
No.
Okay. I ask that question all the time. Everyone says that. Every question I ask when I give somebody a situation, the answer is always no.
If the first room wasn't a waffle room, I would say yes. But because it's a waffle room, you gotta take the time to break the blocks, deal with the chicken.
BGT game over? Thank you. I figured that. Because he went too far to up A.
He's actually jumping over the gap here and seeing what's to the left, which we know is the wrong way. I think.
Yeah, it was that key room with the 3 iron knuckles.
Oh yeah, that's right. How did I forget?
210 points of XP in that room. Plus more if you wanted to go for the extra, but...
Lots of mandatory drops here for Riku, so be interesting to see when we finally do get it right. How many licks it'll take to get to the center of Great Palace.
That's a good one. When he took that first drop, was it the one where you can go left or right? Where you landed?
I wasn't paying enough attention.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
I really wasn't. I was watching BGT. He did something amazing. I was mesmerized by it.
So Riku goes up this elevator, sees a Jackamus room, so he's got 2 rights and a left as his options right now. That 2 rights and up and a left now with this room appearing. But he is down to his last life thanks to this red Faka here.
And back to my question before, knowing I was getting handled every time I got hit early, that's another elevator room in a row. 3 of them in a row. I might feel attack 6 wasn't life 6 wasn't good enough. I might have up 8 at Thunderbird based on that. Do we just ignore all those ups and go down? Of course we do. Barba fight for BGT. There's the room that goes left or right. So we know that the other drop room was the one that forces you left. In fact, it went in the upper half of this room. No, he looped. He looped. That was... Yeah, he looped somewhere. Sorry about that.
I think you are correct. It was just he went left 1 screen out of that room into the room he just dropped into.
Yeah. I had it backwards. Or... missed the step in it, but 3 elevator rooms. This one goes to the Jackamus room, so we're gonna go right. Oh no! I don't know how that.
He
happens.
is up stab. That counts.
That does count. That does count, and that does count as a dead end. Oh, he did it again. It's not gonna check left, which I might have for a little digger.
I don't know. You have 2 elevators. You already passed Thunderbird, so Dark Link can literally be around the next corner. So I think you just got to go for it. No attack 9 for BGT here.
False floor room. We'll go right. Could be Dark Link. It's another elevator room, dude.
So we still got 1 up in the second elevator. as well as another up and no, the third elevator had an up. This one has an up.
3 ups are our only options right now, and left in Jackmas room.
Well, he's getting a lot of rights here. Definitely one of the more confusing Great Palaces I've seen. At least a lot of options after all the drop.
I mean, all your options are basically gone now. You're just walking at this point, and you're just arriving. 2 dead-end rooms are gone as well. So where do all these other things go? One goes to the... Riku's going to have to do it all over again now. One is going to go to the 1-up. One's going to go to the other dead-end room. One's going to loop. And the other one's going to lead you to Darklink somewhere. Actually, there's still one more drop. There's an Eon drop involved, and the drop could actually be a part of that loop as well.
All right. Got BGT picking up the kid here, and he's also going to pick up Reflect. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes and cashes in the kid for Thunder, or if he immediately up an A's and goes for 4. And keep in mind, both players here fighting for their tournament life, essentially. No, I lied. They need to win this one to guarantee that they make the playoff race, and then they can win their next round to guarantee that they make the bracket.
Yes.
As both of these guys are 1-1.
69 at level 3, thanks, pause. So Reflect was castable for Riku. But he just packed it all into Magic. That's a question I will ask him.
It does look like BGT is going to cash in the kid into Runium before going back to 4, which is probably the more efficient way to do this.
All right, well, we're going to be back in our first of the series of elevator rooms here for Riku. Up goes to the Jackamus room. There's a dead end off of that and an unexplored left path. We can go right in this room for the second elevator room. We know up goes to the false floor room that leads to a dead end, but then also up goes to another false floor room that leads to like a room that Riku took a game over in. Or we're going to walk to the third of the elevator rooms and go up here. We know that right takes us a drop that loops us back, but we don't know what this is. In the fairy room, so another option on the table, which I don't think will matter. It might matter, because there's our last of the dead-end rooms.
We're getting the full GP tour here.
Yeah. It's a full GP, but it doesn't seem as bad as other GPs. Multiple options, but all the paths through them have been short. They haven't had you looping or walking around for a long time before the dead end. So that might mean that the path to Thunderbird might be like 7 rooms long. Because we've really only seen 14 rooms of this great palace. And I estimated it's probably like 18.
Never left at the fairy room.
Little Digger. I believe left at the fairy room only applies before Thunderbird. But then,
oh, is that?
Yeah, people have just expanded on that meme. It's like one of those memes that people just start using it, and no one in particular, just the general masses, and they just have their own interpretation of it. It's always left at fairy room if you arrive in Great Palace after the 60-minute, the 80-minute mark, and no one's done yet. Is really what it is. Hour and 5 minutes in, Dig Shake's not there, not done yet. Make a left.
And so Riku going down the elevator, going right. We know this loop, so he's looking to be a little bit lost here. And every second he spends looping around, being a little bit confused, is going to be time for BGT to make up here. But it looks like BGT is grinding for life 8. And Riku one life away from another game over.
4 was very short. Let me mark 6 here for BGT. 4 was very short.
I don't know if BGT actually got to Daruni and turned in the kid there. I think he was just grinding levels.
Okay. Yeah, I saw him get the thunder. Most powerful magic on his screen, yeah.
Oh, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, because that made me turn to the tracker where I also saw I never marked 6, so. But here's the thing. Life 6 is really not that efficient. Even with 8 heart containers, especially if you're going to take a bop in every room or multiple bops. And on top of that, Riku has a little bit of a navigation issue. He's going to go left here? Okay, he's going to go left.
He's down to 1 bar with 1 life left, though, and no magic to show for it.
And he goes left into a waffle room, and this does go up.
Keep in mind, he also game overed in a room with an elevator that goes down as well.
Yes.
So we've got a lot of options on the table.
I believe those are only 2 options now, right?
I think so, actually.
So this might lead to another false floor room going right. This might lead to a path going left to the Eon room. And it's going to go left, and this might go to the Eon room, and it might go to actually a room that the Eon room might drop into. Like, it might be like the drop, and then beyond the drop room is going to be where you land situation. There's one piece of the puzzle. So we know we're going to land here. It's going to be the room that with all the T blocks on the left. It doesn't contain a jar. There's going to be an enemy right here. Nope, maybe not. But it's... Oh, goes right to Darklink, though. Never mind.
There's a lot of rooms we could have seen, but...
Yeah, absolutely. I was really expecting that to go right to the left-hand... right into the Eon room. And there you go. There's your winner. 1 hour, 45 minutes, 18 seconds. Rikuplayer.
Rikuplayer plays his way into the playoff race with a chance to make the bracket outright.
We're going to have our people grab him and see if we can bring him into the fold here. It's BGT. BGT grabs the boots in 4. BGT is making a little longer, taking a lot longer here because Riku destroyed 4, if I remember correctly.
Hello.
Hello, good game, man.
Yeah, thanks. Definitely a little bit of a trolley seed near the end there.
So, you officially have a room named after you. You want to guess which one it is?
Which one?
I get to guess.
Probably the one with life in it in Great Palace?
No.
No. Huh. I have no idea then.
The Rikuplayer room is officially that room in 6 with the elevator in the middle and that all the blocks you have to climb up. The one right before Barba.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Wow. Yeah, I died a lot in that room.
That was a crazy room. A couple questions about Palace 6. The first being that when you did finally get to that room, you looked a little distracted for a little while just before you got into Palace 6. And then as you walking into what was going to be the room Barbara was in, you looked away from the TV and you were holding right and you walked right into a MOA and gamed overed.
I don't know. I don't remember what I looked away for or anything. I know that room had me low health all the time, and it was kind of just getting frustrating trying to get back to Barba every time.
And then when you got back to that room, I think you game over the next time, but the third time, you decided to go down instead, and you found the big loop around to just before that room we named after you. You could actually, I didn't know if you knew that it looped around. You could actually save yourself a little bit of time if you didn't revisit that room. You could have went left off of one of the elevators to get to the back end of that room. I didn't know if you were aware of that or if you just decided to go through that room the way you knew how to get through it.
I knew that, but I just didn't remember where that elevator was that led me back to hit the loop.
Right, okay.
So rather than trying to remember that, I was just like, well, I know this way for sure, and this way is like a surefire way for me to find the boss, so I'm going to just keep working on this way, and it should be good.
BGT is in finishing up 4 now. This is his 6th gem. He's at the Karak fight. So you finished up the Great... You entered the Great Palace at 113, was that? 131.
Yeah.
And BGT, I think, still had to find the kid, cash it in, and all that stuff, and complete Palace 4.
Yeah, in my chat, as soon as I got my last spell over on Eastern, I instantly put kid needed. Because I knew that I would need to find the kid in order to get one of the 2 spells I needed in the end.
What happened there when you placed the gem at 6 with your levels?
6 was my second last palace, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I wasn't too worried about my. I wasn't. No, I know. I'm sure it wasn't my third because I did. I
thought you did
1
5
and 2, and then I did 3.
Second.
Then I think it was either 6 or 5 that I did next.
I think you went 6-5-4 to close it out.
Yeah, 6-5-4. Yeah.
Third to last, I meant, not third total. It looked like you were going to take you could have bypassed a life 4 and taken a huge score there, and you took life 4 and then up 8 at the.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
okay. I think I screwed up something at that point there. I wanted to try to get my what was it? My attack level there, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Or it was attack 7, so I wanted to try to fill up my levels and then max all out, but I accidentally took that level for life, and then that just kind of screwed me up there. So I was just like, well, I don't care if I burn the gem here. I'll just fix it in 5 anyways. So I was already 7 attack by that point, I'm pretty sure. Anyways.
Yeah, you were 7-3-4 at the end of that because you took life 4. Yeah, so your levels are pretty good. Yeah.
And I know that life 4 typically isn't too much higher than Magic 3, if it is even higher than Magic 3. So that's why I didn't want to take a magic level, then have to get 1,000 and some odd experience in Palace 5 if I found a quick Guma find.
So with that all said, you were pretty much ahead because you found the flute in 6 and you got to the kid and recognized, where stuff was a little bit quicker than BGT did all around. Like from start to beginning, like you just had a couple seconds quicker finding a lot of things, and that added up over time. So there was a point in time where we questioned what has to happen for BGT to be able to catch up here, and Great Palace almost provided that. But some people may not believe me. I watched you play this game one time, and your controller broke mid-race.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Because Nern brought that up as an example, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's absolutely happened to him before. That's a practical example.
Yes, I did have my controller break. The A button broke during a race, so I was trying to like go around and try different controllers I knew I had that worked with my computer and everything, constantly closing down my emulator just to try these other controller setups. And then I think I'd used my USB N64 controller and used the A and B buttons on that.
Yeah.
And then I was using the D-pad on my SNES one.
One player, two controllers. That's a unique take on things. But all right, well, congratulations, 2-1. You're guaranteed to be in at least the playoff race now, for the chance to move on to the bracket round. Is there anything you're going to take away from this seed that you're gonna? Because I know you like you practice quite a bit in preparation for the tournament and during the tournament. Anything that happened here that you might want to try to work on?
Not die as much in the palaces is definitely one thing that I need to work on, because I died so much in 6 and I lost a lot of time in there.
And to be fair, like, the enemies seem to be giving you like maximum damage every time you got hit.
Yeah.
Like, that was like yeah.
I'm looking at my splits right now, and I was actually on like pace to actually have one of my best times ever in this run here, and it kind of died off a little bit in Palace 6, and then 5 I lost a little bit more time there, and then I gained back a little bit that time, but not enough to actually make a difference with me still having to grab Thunder after Palace 4.
Yeah, the combination of Life 3 not being as effective as normal, because you had the heart containers to compensate for that, but it still didn't seem to compensate for it, if you know what I mean. And
yeah,
it's just like poor enemy placement, or just unfortunate enemy placement. That one room with that we joking around naming after you, with the Doom Knocker that jumps up at you as the Mo is raining fire upon your head. Like that,
yeah.
That's not fun.
No, that room really wasn't fun, because I was just like, well, I know I need to go fast enough in order to basically get past that Doom Knocker before he jumps, and if I don't move fast enough, I have to deal with that Doom Knocker first then. And then there's still that Moa that I have to worry about.
And that Moa times the fires with your movement too. So if you're going fast past that Doom Knocker, like, you have to stop for that fire anyway.
Yeah.
So then the Doom Knockers, and then you're like, all right, well, I've seen you, like, you graduated in that room a little bit. I saw you grow up, before my eyes. You're like, all right, now I'll just kill the Doom Knocker. So you kill the Doom Knocker, you accidentally downstab into the lower level, and like, here comes one of his maces on the rebound. And you get hit anyway. So it's like, all right, what can you do?
Yeah, there's nothing I could do about that unless I wanted to cast Reflect just to deal with it, but like, in that time frame, it's just like, no, I don't want to deal with Reflect. I just want to try to get over to the left as far as I can, maybe get through that before the mace comes and hits me.
One more question about Palace 6, and then we'll move on to Great Palace, as BGT is still trying to make his way through the back half of it. I believe he's on the path to loop around here, or find a dead end and find the little digger. In Palace, I guess it must have been Palace 4 when you placed the gem. You dumped everything you had into. You took 3 magic levels and 1 life level. Was there something that you saw during that seed that maybe we didn't get a feel for here, that you decided to do 3 magic levels?
I just wanted to try to get my spells down as low as possible to be able to cast life quite a few times in GP. I knew it was still like, it was like a 40 cost at Magic 3, so I was hoping that would drop down quite sizably, which it did.
Yeah.
Drop down to like a 28 cost, so like, getting that drop down in there definitely was nice to have.
Yeah, we mentioned how hard it is sometimes when you want to do something like that, and you don't know if Magic 4 is going to do it, and then everything thereafter is really not going to do much for you, because you can never see your spell book as you're taking those levels to know how much it's helping. You just got to blindly take those levels. But that Great Palace, then, it's a little bit of a pain, but a fortunate pain, because any wrong direction you took ended like instantly.
Yeah, and I took every single drop that I found, even though I knew one drop would lead back. I knew if I found that one drop that would lead back, it would ease my mind a lot with taking the other drops.
I believe you found that drop that looped back 3rd.
Yeah.
So you knew there was one more drop left. I was actually fully expecting that Eon room you found, especially when you were going right to left through it.
Yeah.
To land in the room that was left of it. Like, you were just going to have like a 2-room loop there. But you took that drop, and Darklink was right there on the horizon. There was a path you took where you game overed, and you never went back that direction. Actually, it was one of the rooms you died in had an elevator that went down, and you game overed in that room, and then you started taking lefts thereafter. Were you just trying to find a quicker way to Darklink and hoping it was that way, or did you accidentally forget?
I didn't realize I didn't explore that way all the way, obviously. But I knew that basically my way to get Darklink was through the Eon room by the time I was searching for it. Like, I knew as soon as I found that Eon drop down there, and I'm done. I know Darklink is gonna be right around there.
Yeah, there were the rooms that could have possibly been left. There were a few possibilities. One of them being, like I said, that Eon drop would have went, the one that you found, the Eon drop into Darklink, which was the right one. Eon drop into a loop directly thereafter for a dead end, or you could have just walked and found the dead end to the left there before the Eon room, and then you knew the drop if you would have found the drop on the path you game overed in, and it would have just looped right back there. But overall, you handled all those dead end rooms very well, and the whole puzzle in needing the horn. Did you by any chance see that when you went north there to get the kid and find Kasuto, were boots also going to lead you up there, or was it fully a horn block?
I couldn't tell. I didn't really look that far to the left there at all.
It looked like it was open, but you know, when you're playing the game, you have a different perspective than when you're just watching somebody play it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, sometimes when you're playing the game, you're just like I was tunnel vision to find the towns at that point. Like, that was all I had to find was the towns, and then the kid, or possibly, like, I was glad that the kid was in that desert tile there. That was like the biggest sigh of relief ever at that point.
Yeah, you walked. We were like, all right, well, what are our options here? What could it be? You know, we can get the kid and 4 possibilities on the table, and you just like walked right into the desert tile, and there it was. We're like, okay, well, I guess we don't have anything to talk about now for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that kid was definitely a good find, because if I didn't find that kid, probably my next play, rather than go and revisit the temple palaces I already went into, I would have probably been trying to find that last P-Bag cave on Eastern first off, and if I didn't find Boots there, I'd be going to Death Mountain.
Boots were actually in 4, and Link 7 says that BGT did try to get up there from the raft spot, and it was blocked off. So it looked like it was a horn-required seed, because all 4 of the connector caves were found, and that was the only way up there. Except maybe you could have gone right and around from Maze Island. I don't know if BGT found that, and I don't know what the right-hand side, the eastern side of that northern area looked like. So I guess that was still a possibility, but we'll say horn-required, because we like to think that happens sometimes. But yeah, very well played, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really happy with how I played. Just upset about Palace 6, and that's like the biggest thing that, like, because I was making really good time, and then I just saw my time just like decrease significantly there. Like, I lost almost 7 minutes in there just because of that dying in that room, that single room there, so many times.
So you've been playing. Oh, go ahead. Hey,
I'll say, so I had to step out for a second, but did we get to the heart of why Riku was raving at the camera?
No, you can bring that up.
Oh, I want to know.
So people kept saying hey to me in my chat, and since I don't have a mic, I want to try to like say hi to them somehow. And when people were saying bye, I was waving to them all the time. So I knew I was acknowledging them at least being there.
I see.
We thought you were waving every time you took a hit. Because for a while that did sync up, and we thought maybe you were on a Skype call with somebody, and got a little bit distracted because you started laughing there for a little while. So it looked like you were talking to somebody.
No, I was laughing because of my chat. Actually, my chat was being kind of hilarious earlier on. Like, they were like constantly going off about like they were calling me handsome and stuff, and just like trying to get a rise out of me during the run here.
Chat was Riku AF.
So, yeah, that was the whole reason. Like, my chat was just like constantly going on with me and everything. It was great to have like an active chat, and like even when like they knew that they couldn't put spoilers in here, and like the one thing that they thought might have been a spoiler, they actually got removed from my chat and everything, because I was just like, no, I don't want anything that's could be even close to a spoiler in my chat at all.
So we have an answer to one of the questions I asked you. and that was where you took the game over in Great Palace. BGT went that way and arrived at the Eon room from the other side. So there were two paths to get to that Eon room that's going to drop into the Darklink room, one screen away from the Darklink room. But BGT is walking out of that room because he hasn't seen this side, and he's walking right. So by you exploring a lot and walking left into that room, you decided to take the drop and go right into Darklink. BGT found it from the left. He continued to go on, and now he's exploring to the right of that room.
That begs the question, where the heck are all the other rooms?
I really don't know how many rooms there are. We saw 4 elevator rooms. We saw the 3 dead-end rooms. We saw all 4 drop rooms and the rooms they land on. We found a couple waffle rooms. So I guess maybe there's just a branch he missed on the way here. He's going to go back to the Eon room now. I wonder if he's going to drop or he's going to explore another branch. Nope, he's going to drop. And he'll be arriving at Darklink now. So it's only rooms that have 2 exits that get removed. So the waffle rooms can get removed. It's weird that there was only 2 of them. Or maybe, no, there was a 3rd one. I don't know. I'm faking it, but I kind of sort of mapped it. BGT is actually going to go for the 15-minute deduction on his time by fighting Darklink with the normal strategies. I don't know if that helps, though. Does that make him win this race?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, it was a good try. The day did change to Friday, 28 July 2017, though. I'm going to post that in chat. And there we go. Yeah, we've ruled in this tournament that if you fight Darklink like this, it's a 15-point deduction. So that if you have a trolley seed and make a mistake or somewhere along the line, that you can do this and still have a chance to win. It's very good for a competitive standpoint. I gotta tell you, BGT is really good at this, though. Like
He took him out, no problem.
Yeah, I see him do that a lot, and it comes easy to him.
BGT's final time, 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 35 seconds. He will move to 1 and 2. And Riku, you are 2 and 1. That guarantees that you're in the playoff race. I'm not sure if Larry touched on this earlier, but how do you feel about that?
I'm happy to at least get the extra match in on this tournament, even if I don't make it into the playoffs. I'm happy that I've proven that I play well enough to actually advance somewhere in this.
I mean, it is a long way from the early races when I first met you, when it was just the 3 of us actually talking that were in the races. That took you 4+ hours. But you know what? When you're starting out, 4+ hours is actually a really good time. And then you learn from there, you learn what to look for, and you arrive at this 2-1 in a tournament. So very well done.
Yeah, I think my very first one I ever did was a 6-hour run or something like that. So having my time down to getting sub 2 times is definitely, I'm happy about that.
See if we can get BGT in here for his quick thoughts before we kick you off to the other race that is happening tonight. Choke Me I Like It versus the guy Choke Me I Like It's playing.
Ah, that guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now. I have 700 tabs and browsers open at the same time. Cool in the Gank. Jean-Claude Van Damme. BGT is joining us with his mic muted, so I'm going to put him on the spot. BGT, how you doing? He doesn't really take kindly to my questions, so he just leaves. Hello.
Hey.
Have you heard about
sorry
Pluto?
About leaving and coming back. I have.
It's messed up, right?
Messed up, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you take us through that there?
I almost got it.
You almost got it.
A fun seed, actually. Like, the troll didn't come until really late, so I thought it was going smooth.
Yeah, we questioned,
Pseudo.
like, what other item do these players need? And, boom, there it is. Confirmation from Lynx Evans said you took the boots, you took the raft spot north through the water and got blocked.
Yeah, yeah. It was like a nice, a huge bay up there, but it was all the coast was mountains, so you couldn't get in. It was pretty funny. I laughed. I laughed when I saw that.
Were you
I'd
able to,
already lost, so I went to explore just to see.
I did that last night too after I lost. Were you able to see the eastern side of the north area to know the boots were not available over there either? It was a true horn Vuvuzela block.
The boots were in 4.
Boots were in 4. No, but I mean to get up there.
I think there was a P-bag cave on Eastern Hyrule I missed.
Yeah, it was up there somewhere. It had to be up there in north. Kasudo, the desert tile that had the kid, and the cave had to be up north. I was just wondering if it was truly horn blocked or if you could have used the boots to get up around the other side. Was my question.
Yeah, sorry, I mixed up east and west like I want to do, and I thought you were talking about
does that
near the raft.
Nobody does that.
Yeah, nobody does that.
Two
Nobody
people
spends 30
certainly
minutes
don't do that in
Zelda.
the same race. It never happened. Do you think you'd be at a disadvantage if there was if an old man said the flute was in the southwest? Do you think you'd have a problem?
Yeah, I would definitely like look at my note thing, and every single time I wrote east or west, it's like scribbled out, and the other one is written. 100% incorrect on first try.
Oh man, but yeah. Other than that, you know, it's surprising neither of you guys ran into Death Mountain after you got the hammer, knowing you needed the kid.
Yeah, I didn't know how to get to the hammer, the spectacle rock or barnacle rock or monocle rock or whatever the hell kind of rock it is.
Right.
With it, I don't think I ever saw the right side of Jump Cave either.
I don't believe I even saw the right side of Jump Cave. I don't even think I saw the right side of Fairy Cave. From the notes I
found
took.
that one, I think.
Okay.
I see. It's grayed out on my tracker, so I must have found it. I don't know, like the beginning was kind of rough too, because I like didn't see that pass that led to the bridge, the forced bridge encounter.
Mm-hmm. That's where Riku really got the early advantage. Is he got up there, you dove into Death Mountain, and then you started looking around.
Yeah,
and then
I
you
was looking around for Bagu.
Yeah, you're looking around for Bagu. You look around for a way, and for a while I thought maybe you were trying to look around for a way through Death Mountain, but we saw both of those entrances early, so I was hoping that wasn't the case.
I knew I didn't have any connector caves, but I didn't notice that like area up in the northeast. So I thought I needed to find Bagu, but I was like, I went into like the 4 forest tiles, so I got a little confused. Then I saw that area and was like, oh, okay, forced bridge. I was able to get through it like 212 or something.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. You got a little bit of a slow start on the second half of that Western Continent, and Riku was already cleared it, I think, by the time you got up there to then get all the things. And then he had a little bit of problem in Palace 6, let you catch up a little bit, but certainly, you know, I don't think the damage was done there, but he arrived at the kid faster and the flute in 6 faster, so he had to check less things overall than you.
Yeah, I spent a long time in 5 too, I think.
Yeah, and his 5.
I was just like, I need the flute, I guess, to get up there. So I was just like, or I need the kid or something. So I just didn't want to leave 5.
His 5 and 6 were actually really quick. 5 and 4 were really quick, and you took a little bit longer in 4 as well, but a lot longer in 5.
Strange.
But you did 6 quicker though, because he took 4 game overs or 3 game overs there. So it was actually an interesting seed from this perspective of it, because of how open everything was, and then boom, block. It's like,
It's really, it threw me, you know. I was like, oh man, this is like, we got glove, like in the first minute.
Yeah.
It was a trick. Bait and switch there.
I think Nerm always says it. You know, you get something early, you're going to wait for that troll later on. It always comes.
Yeah. There's always a troll, so I should have known.
But did you think it would be flute?
I mean, you know, I've been waiting for the flute required seed, so I guess it's fitting that I got it.
I think this was the second one in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I must have missed the first one.
I think there was a race earlier this week that was flute required.
So many on weekdays this week. I didn't get.
I
to
don't-
watch them all.
I don't think that was a tournament race. I think it was just a normal race.
Oh, was that a normal race? They blur together sometimes because I
They
do
really
nothing
do.
but watch Zelda 2 on my computer in my parents' basement.
What a life.
Yeah, no, eating Taco Bell, Mountain Dew. I'm in Taco Bell mode on my chair right now, all the way leaned back. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I played this whole seed in lean back Taco Bell mode because I didn't have to talk to my chat viewers and stuff.
You didn't even wave at them.
You wouldn't know. I don't have the webcam.
That's why you lost. Your opponent waved to people in chat.
Yeah,
Let's-
maybe I should make a bot to do that for me.
Lesson learned. Make a tracker to make a bot to do that for you. That'd be awesome.
Maybe I need a tracker so I know which trackers I'm done making.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome. But all right, any final words, guys? Because we're gonna kick this off to the Choke Me I Like It Cool in the Gang race, so we can watch some more Zelda 2 action.
Have your Taco Bell ready. Thanks for the restream, Larry, and thanks for the commentary, Larry and Nirm. Congrats, Riku.
Yeah, good job playing today too. BGT, it was a fun race. I really enjoyed it, and good luck in your next race.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, with that said, thanks for joining us. And Nerm, you want to kick us off Walter Fopp style to the other race?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. Well, we're gonna go watch this other race with some guys, and I'm gonna see if I can't find a belt somewhere.
It's classic. You like that, Kyle? I'll see you guys over at Dark Magician 1184.